Okay, so here is my text response for Briar Rose by Jane Yolen. And so first starting off with my head heart, Briar Rose most definitely was a eye-opening and thought-provoking novel. It really exposed a lot of the truths that many of us kind of knew about, but having that unique twist of, the underlining fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty, um, was different, but then how Jane Yolen beautifully um, meshed them together, um, it was just like amazing. And then it kind of reimagined this concept of Sleeping Beauty, this tale of Sleeping Beauty, but now giving it some historical significance and some cultural immersion. With the guiding prompts as far as what's new, a lot of it was just more so getting into even more nitty gritty details about the experience, I guess you could say, of the Partisans, and how they stealthily rebelled against the Third Reich and the Third Reich, and that in itself really exposed a lot more. Because I mean, we have different movies and different stories about it, but having again that young adult-esque novel written just specifically focusing in essence on that experience and finding, having a family member journey through, um, in essence delving into family history, some connections, right away. um, One of the ideas that I'm thinking about, when it comes to this novel as a teacher, is developing an activity that the students, the scholars, are able to actually do some history digging on their own families. And at the end, they write a story, they write an article documenting basically how their family started up to where they are today. And I could really see that kind of um, being some thought provoking experiences for some of them. Others, it probably will be a little bit more harder, identifying and actually tracing down those particular remnants of their family history. But I think that that'll be a great educational experience, not just for them, but for their peers. Um, and then passages. So by four passages, the first starts on page 176, and it's when they actually meet with Joseph Pataki the first time. And he states, "In my life, gaiety has not been the dominant factor, but I am certainly, in your word, gay. I was I it was why the Nazis interned me. Even with my family connections, I cannot possibly be your grandfather, but I knew your grandmother." So there, I was just like, okay, wait, what's going on here? And then it kind of talks about, the life of Joseph Pataki, and how he kind of just delved in and really didn't see his sexuality as like the forefront. The next is on page 177. "I think," Magda said, suddenly quite serious, "that this is a man who will not let death take him by the hand until he has finished what he has begun." And again, this talks about the resiliency of the people that had to endure the Holocaust, and then bringing it to modern day, as we can draw from the sense of how this novel was written, that like, they've been through enough. Death is not going to easily take them since they survived through that. The next passage is on page 189, and it's skipping around a bit, but starting at the top. "The pamphlets about the Jews multiplied. He heard rumors of internment camps for antisocial elements, like Jehovah Witnesses, and socialists and faggots. The kind the kind who cross-dressed and were flagrant in their habits, the kind who had to wear pink triangles, the 175ers. Joseph never thought the pink triangle laws were meant for him." And again, it kind of goes back to what he talked about, that he never really said that his sexuality, his identity was like the forefront. Like that wasn't the end all be all for him. Yes, he just happened to be a man that loved the same sex. And then my last quote is on page 249, and specifically talking about, again, Becca's development, not development, but her identifying of the past of her grandmother, through with the idea that uh, her idea of a grandfather who was a war hero, trying to understand that Gemma, her Gemma, had died and been resurrected by a kiss of life given by a man who had probably never kissed a woman before or since. And again, I just looked at the beautiful irony of that, how, again, Joseph Pataki and others like him were so heavily persecuted, and yet he resulted in being the hero or the lifesaver, for lack of better words, of Gemma or Briar Rose, as we come to find throughout the novel. And that's the beauty of this novel, the consistent discovery and rediscovery that's portrayed and exhibited. And that's my text response. Hope you enjoy it.